Due to frequent conversations about Looksmaxxing, Wonyoungism, and other things that the internet has brought to us in the recent months, I have also decided to share my routine with you guys. The way I do it is a very simplified way to go about everything, but it's a consistent one, and it's one that really helped me with my looks and everything, and one that I feel comfortable sharing and that I've grown to use over time frequently. My skin is in the best condition it has ever been, my eyes are bright, and everything generally works out well for me. During my young adulthood and even my younger years, I used to struggle with extremely dry skin. Even though I only had a few pimples, it was still not the best because I was just extremely dry and it didn't look very good. I had extreme under eye circles, and generally I just wasn't very confident in my looks. And nowadays I have started to implement some things that really help me. To track everything that I do, I use my journal. I have started journaling a few years ago, and I found that the best way for me to do it is by using a journal that has those rings, because this way I can just take out pages and just keep reusing the same journal in the same way. But if you're interested in the way I journal and maybe you want to try out something new that I found to be very effective, I could do a video about it in the future. Now, instead of doing things randomly whenever I feel like it, I decided to write everything down in the maintenance journal, as I call it. And I have one for cleaning as well, which is the one I just showed by accident. And it's just what I do on the basis of a year, every 6 months, monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, and daily. And if you're interested in the cleaning version, also let me know about that, and I might also share it, because I believe I am one of the people that never really have a messy or dirty home, even though I do struggle with some mental things a lot of the time, so it wasn't always the easiest thing for me to keep a very clean house, especially as I was younger. My room would always be a mess and I used to never clean or anything, because I've had help from my grandma to do it, and yeah. Nowadays, I believe to be a very self-sufficient person in that regard, and it's working out extremely well for me. Now, let's get to my maintenance routine. I have some things written down in gray and some things written down in black, and the gray things are things that I am not yet doing, but that I would like to implement in the future and do in the future. So that's why I distinguish between these two, because I also want to have these things in my mind for a time when it works out for me. Let's begin with my yearly tasks. There is really nothing in black. I have a hydrofacial, which is something that I want to do in the future, as well as lip filler, which is also something that I want to do in the future. I've not had any fillers or anything similar yet, but it's definitely something I want to implement eventually. Similarly, for the 6-month thing, there is getting a haircut. Now that I've grown out my hair, I don't need to do it monthly anymore, but I definitely need to be cutting my edges, and I think that every 6 months is a good time to do that. I also have a dentist, which is something I also have not really been doing yet. I definitely want to be going to the dentist more often because it's important to take care of dental health. And I think that I will start doing that every 6 months from now on. Monthly. Here I have something in gray, which is something I already do, but it's my cat's nails. I need to cut them because I need to cut them, and doing it once a month is enough for my cat. The rest is just being done by using scratching toys. I also have a massage in gray, which is something I'm not doing yet again, but something I really want to do, as well as teeth whitening strips. I wanna just do it in the future, and it's something I can start very, very easily, so it's definitely gonna be the next thing on my list that's gonna be realized. I also have waxing on here, which is something I just need to do monthly. I just started the transition from shaving to waxing, so sometimes, for example, my face, I need to do it more often, so around bi-weekly, but it's in the monthly category because the rest of my body can handle only getting waxed once a month. Now let's begin with the real serious part, which is my weekly list. Here we have gua sha, which is something that I've done 2 years ago already, but I stopped doing it because I wasn't really using right techniques and I wasn't doing it very frequently. Nowadays I do it frequently and my goal is to do it at least once weekly, but I usually end up doing it more often. Doing it more often, there is no harm, but I want to do it at least once a week. The same thing goes for dry brushing. It's something I want to implement at least once a week usually, and I do it twice a week, but there are many benefits to dry brushing, which aren't just dead skin cells, it also helps the digestion. Then on my weekly list I have working out. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna put it on the daily list or if I wanna put it on the weekly list, but since I do work out 3 to 6 times a week, I put it on my weekly list because the minimum is 3 times, and I think that's not enough to count it as daily. We also have a manicure and a pedicure with all in, so that's something that happens once a week. Eventually, once I stop biting my nails, because at the moment I do my nails at home, I wanna do it monthly so I can get gel nails or even have my natural nails again, but until I stop the bad habit, I'm gonna be. We also have derma rolling or peeling. These are also things that I don't want to do together because it would harm my skin way too much. I know that it's advised to derma roll more often than once a week. Sometimes I will derma roll twice a week, but I never peel my skin more than once a week because my skin just doesn't need it necessarily at the moment. At least I don't feel like it's that way. Then moving on, we have face masks and slugging. I usually do it in combination with my everything shower, which is also something that I do. And those are all the things that I consider in my weekly maintenance list. Now moving on to daily things. We have my AM and PM skincare routine, which is something that I've also shared in other vlogs or videos, like my morning routine and soon my evening routine as well. We also got hair oil and combing with one of those thick silicone massage brushes. It is something I started recently as well, and it's really been helping my hair growth and hair. I think it does so in combination with the derma rolling especially. We also got brushing teeth, of course, morning and evening, and I've also started doing an evening floss every single day. I usually aim to get 6,000 steps a day, but my average at the moment is 8,000 steps a day. So I usually do 10,000 during the week and a bit less on the weekends, but I try to aim to walk at least 6,000 steps. So even on days where I'm just at home, I try to make myself at least go out, maybe buy some fun drink or something just so I can move myself a bit. The last thing I've started doing daily is using supplements. At the moment I am taking just vitamin D and some multivitamin, and I think that is enough for me at the moment. I don't really want to overdo it, and there's no reason for me to take so many pills, especially because I'm eating extremely healthy and I'm getting all my vitamins from other things as well, so it's just unnecessary to go that extra mile. That's all I have for my maintenance routine at the moment. I think it's fairly plain and simple. I don't like adding too many things that I end up not doing as a kind of wishful thinking. I prefer to stay true to the things that I actually do and that I know are sustainable for me. And yeah, I hope I could give you some inspiration, and maybe you can relate to the list of things I have or the way that I do things. If you wanna get some info on my cleaning maintenance routine or my journal in general, I would appreciate it if you could write it down in the comments, and maybe follow and like this video as well, because it really helps with the algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.